on my Twitch stream, in which it looks like it is. Alright, cool. So, we are live. So, everyone, we're going to be doing a quick stream tonight, and every time I usually say quick stream, it ends up being an hour and a half to 2 hours. I kind of do want this to be a quick stream. We're 16 and 16. It's odd. I thought we had a way better record than that. Maybe I was playing, like, when I was drunk and I didn't realize it. I don't know. I have multiple carts that I play on. But we're going to be low 1500. 1645 player from Greece, actually. So, cool. And pretty interesting team. The Talonflame definitely jumps out at me. I hate Gyarados. It's probably one of my most hated Pokemon in this format, and I don't know why. I think it's because I was so used to using Double Duck's team, and Gyarados is so devastating against the Double Duck's team, especially mine in particular. Anyway, we're going to have the Gyarados, the P2, the Muck, the Garchomp, the Talonflame, and the Togedemaru. So this is a pretty interesting team. Interesting to see what he may lead with. Could possibly see the Togedemaru. I can have my Persian lead as well, so I can get a higher priority fake out. And then I can also get like a fake out into anything else, and then I'm pretty much set up. Like I could set up Trick Room, but the P2 could definitely reverse the Trick Room, which is kind of annoying. But I can taunt it, so I'm gonna lead the Persian, the Mimikyu. Be cool if he led like Togedemaru and Garchomp, because then I could just go for the Fake Out and Twinkle Tackle. Gonna bring the Snorlax in the back, and then who else do I want here? Let me see. How's Tapu Fini looking right here? I think, except the Muck. The Muck's the only thing that's really concerning me right here. I'm gonna bring the Tapu Fini. Granted, he has a Muck on his team, and I can almost guarantee that he's going to be bringing it because I have a Snorlax, which can set up. He can knock off my Berry. He can Poison Jab or Gunk Shot my Tapu Fini, knock off my anything, really, on my team other than my Z users. And I don't have a Z user on Kartana anymore, so the knockoff is going to be doing a considerable amount of damage. He's going to be leading P2 and Muck. Okay. So I think fake out into the Muck and taunting into the Porygon is reasonable. And then the following turn, I think the Porygon doesn't even bother like counter Trick Rooming or anything like that. If it does, it's perfect because my disguise won't be broken. But I think he's going to go for an Ice Beam into the Mimikyu to break my disguise. And then the next turn, the Muck will likely go for an attack into my Mimikyu to prevent the Trick Room from getting up. Because my next move is to go for a Z, not a Z parting shot, but a parting shot, and then bringing in my Snorlax. Alright, so I'm going to fake out right here, and I'm going to go for a taunt right here. Let's see how this works out. We just play through the motions. And I am absolutely freezing right now. I gotta shut my window. It's been pretty cold. Like randomly got cold. So great, my disguise is not going to be broken. He's going to bring in the Gyarados, which is perfect because I'll be able to bring in the Snorlax the following turn, and I won't have an Intimidate down on me. Although it doesn't really matter if I'm going to be Bell Drumming. The Intimidate actually does matter on Mimikyu. And we're going to get a taunt off, so no Dragon Dances, can't protect, which is kind of nice, and Waterfalls actually aren't going to be doing too much, so not a bad deal right there. Gyarados' Hydro Vortex would probably be the worst possible case scenario, but he can't break the substitute with Muck unless he has Shadow Sneak and then going for the Hydro Vortex. And if that's the case, I could just bring in Persian if the Mimikyu goes down here, and then I can just bring in the Snorlax the following turn. So what I'm going to do is, question is, who do I want to parting shot? I think, because I can always fail play the Gyarados, I think the one that I want to parting shot is the Muck the most. And then this is pretty much an easy Trick Room if he doesn't go for a Shadow Sneak and Hydro Vortex, because he's not going to be able to knock me out. Alright, so a lot of switching right here. P2 is going to come out. So I guess like accounting for the taunt, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go for a parting shot into the Muck. It's not going to be doing as much damage. It's probably going to go for the... or maybe Muck has taunt, because Muck does get taunt. That would be actually a really good call. Let's see. you would have two ways to get rid of Trick Room. You can counter Trick Room, and then you can taunt, and I have to switch in my Pokemon, which I'm going to switch in my Snorlax, and then I can just Belly Drum the next turn, because I'll be able to get my Belly Drum off before the Muck can attack. Let's see if he goes for a knockoff into the Persian. Wow, great call. Really, really, really good call. And that's why this person's in the 1600, so really, really good call. Alright. Question is, do I go for the high horsepower into the Muck? I think I'm just going to taunt into the Porygon too. Can't recycle my berry back, so that's a huge problem. That was a really good call on his part. So I think I'm just going to stick around right here. And then I'm just going to go for the high horsepower on that slot. But he also can go for a switch in into this Gyarados, which actually would be a really good call. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm kind of... Snorlax is kind of useless at this point unless I get a Belly Drum up, so I'm just going to go for that, and I'm going to go for a taunt onto the Porygon 2 slot. He's probably going to end up doubling up on my Snorlax. He's going to bring Gyarados in on that slot. Okay, yeah, so probably anticipating the high horsepower into that slot, which I was thinking about, but I think it's more important for me to get a Belly Drum up. And let's see what the Porygon 2 goes for. Maybe some like form of offense. Not going to be able to recover right here. Toxic. Alright, so I'm going to attack into Porygon the next turn because I have to remove that form of offense off of the field because I do have the Persian in the back in order to... I was going for the Trick Room counter right there. Because the Gyarados can more than likely protect right here. The Porygon 2 has protect and, you know, good game. Because this is pretty much like a free return into the Porygon. I don't necessarily think he has anything to switch in or that slot. No, he doesn't have any ghost type. So Porygon 2 is likely going to be going down right here. I'm going to switch out my Mimikyu because it has multiple Intimidates on it. And let's see how many turns of Trick Room that I have left right here. I have 3 more turns of Trick Room. So switching in the Persian right here doesn't necessarily make much sense. But then I could just get a free Fake Out on whatever I want to. Yeah, because if I knock out the Porygon, the Muck's going to come in if I switch in the Feeny, because the Muck will be faster under the Trick Room. So, looks like the Porygon's going to be staying in right here. It's probably just going to be taking a return, and then the Gyarados is probably going to be going for the Waterfall into the Snorlax. Wow. It took the return. Is that a roll? Roar. Is that has to be a roll, because I'm almost 100% positive that I either get the Oko or like that's insane. That is absolutely insane. I'm gonna go for Dazzling Gleam, and then obviously I fake out the Porygon right here because the Porygon can go for a recover if I don't. And I'm not necessarily sure whether or not the Fake It will be able to take it out, so I'm going to go for that play right now. He could definitely switch out the Porygon to preserve it for later. Definitely go into the Muck, which would be a really good call. I can definitely see that happening, but I really can't do too much to the Muck. I mean, I could fail play it, but that's not going to be doing too much to it either because it's going to resist it. Tough call on his part. If I were him, I would just let my Porygon go down. It's pretty much has done his job. It's poisoned my... okay, so, yep, so going for the Dazzling Gleam is the right call right here. This will probably do about half damage to the Gyarados. Yep, right on the money. Critical hit on the Gyarados, actually, so I don't know what kind of roll we would be able to get on the Gyarados. Going to go for Dragon Dance, okay, so makes a lot of sense, because he's probably going to protect after this turn. I think we have one more turn of Trick Room left. I still have the Mimikyu in the back. I still have the possibility for the Twinkle Tackle, so I don't think I want to burn that with my Persian. This should be the last turn of Trick Room right here. Yep. Poison Jab. Let's see right here. I think the Feeny is gonna be my... It's gonna win it. I can't see the Tucker Noir being in the back. It's probably the Gyarados. Not the Gyarados, the Guard Jump. So I'm gonna switch into my Snorlax and on a slot right here because he's probably gonna go for a Poison Jab into that. I'm just gonna sack. And what do I do with the Persian? I honestly think he's going to protect with the Gyarados right there because I can just easily go for a foul play into that slot. So I'm going to Parting Shot the Mach just to reduce the amount of damage that that thing can output. But he's going to get the KO into the Snorlax. And the Snorlax doesn't go down right here, which it probably should. Yeah, he's going to protect, which it probably should. The Poison might do the job, and then I can just switch into my Persian on that slot and fake out the Gyarados the following turn. Yep, there we go. So critical hit, didn't matter. Okay, so we're going to get a Parting Shot on this block. It's not going to be doing as much damage, and then I think the next turn what I'll be able to do is go for the fake out into the Gyarados. And who do I bring in right here? Do I bring in the Mimikyu or do I bring in the Feeny? I think the Feeny would be an okay call because then I can Moonblast, fake out Moonblast, and then I can lock myself into Moonblast, and that'll still be doing a lot of damage to the Muck. Or I can bring in the Mimikyu, but the Mimikyu would probably be a better call for the Gyarados in the back, so I'm just going to bring in the Feeny on their slot. Okay. Still not over by any means, although I'm going to get a switch in to my Persian right here. And then I fake out the Gyarados. I mean, the Gyarados is forced to either switch out or double protect right here. If he gets the double protect, then it's not looking too good because the double up into that slot is the best choice. I don't necessarily want a Dazzling Gleam because it's not going to be doing too much in the Muck. I'd rather lock myself in the Moonblast. So we're basically going to have to cross our fingers right here. Hope that we do pull this off. He doesn't get the double protect. Because I think in his position, because he's not going to want to switch into a Moonblast on that slot if he has the Garchomp into the back. And he gets it. Yep. So, 33% chance of that happening. I should have Moonblasted into the Muck, but you just can't rely on that. So, if that didn't work, I'd be in a really, really good position. That actually doesn't do that much, so I'm not even too concerned about that. Because the Waterfall is not going to be. He's going to Hydro Vortex though. It's going to Hydro Vortex the Persian. So I'm going to switch it into the Mimikyu right here. And then let me see, how much did that do? So if that was a low roll, he might be able to knock my Feeny out. If it was a high roll, he won't knock me out. I'm going to go for the Moonblast into Gyarados, switch out my Persian, because smartest play right here for him is to take out my Persian, because it's the biggest threat to his Gyarados and the Garchomp in the back. Yep, so we're going to see a Hydro Vortex. This is going to go into the Feeny, which would probably KO in this range, but he's still leaving himself to be KO'd, and Muck can't really do too much to the Persian because of the Fur Coat ability. This should be going into the Mimikyu's Disguise. Yep, alright, great. So he's going to break my Disguise, but the Gyarados is going to be going down right here, and hopefully we survive with the Feeny. I'm banking on my Feeny surviving right here, because what I can do is I can actually switch out the Feeny, bring in the Persian. I have the availability to fake out and Z Parting Shot. Alright, Gyarados is going to go down. Yep. Let's see what he has in the back. Going to go for a Curse. Okay. I don't want to say that it's not a problem, because he does get a Defense Rise. Foul Play would do considerable damage if he keeps rising his attack, but he's still going to be doing a lot of damage to me in return. The Garchomp is in the back. He can't Z-Tectonic Rage. If he's Scarfed, he's going to be probably locking himself into either Poison Jab or Rock Slide. If I were him, I'd be locking myself into Rock Slide. I think going for a Twinkle Tackle into the Garchomp right now is completely reasonable. I think it is. And then I'm going to switch out into the Persian right here. If he decides to protect the Garchomp, I'll still be getting a considerable amount of chip into it. I am adamant on my Mimikyu. And I'll be able to fake out the following turn and go for a play off into that slot. So he's going to go for the Poison Jab, likely into the Feeny slot. Yep. That still does a lot of damage. Critical hit, of course. And he gets the Poison. So we're getting really unfortunate. He gets a double protect, and he gets a critical hit and a Poison on my Persian, which will definitely matter in this, because I'm not going to be able to stay on the field as long as I'd like with my Persian, unfortunately. And he's probably going to go for another Curse right now, because that's his win con with the Muck. So So this should be able to take out the Garchomp, barring like an extreme amount of bulk. Let's see. That's why I wanted to make my Mimikyu adamant, so I can almost guarantee the OHKO on the Garchomp, in which I do. Alright, good. So we can't Z parting shot or anything like that anymore. Let's see who goes into the Mimikyu. Okay. That does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Alright, so I'm gonna go for a taunt right here. I have revealed taunt. I believe I did reveal it. So I'm gonna go for the taunt right there. I'm gonna switch out the Persian, but he could just go for a poison jab predicting that call, because the fake out's obviously not gonna be doing too much to him. Let's see what the Muck is at currently, because Muck can actually bring this back. He's at neutral right now. I'm going to parting shot him, and I'm going to taunt. He's probably just going to protect. Yeah, he's going to protect, so I should have switched into Feeny right there. Yeah, because it's going to get some extra poison chip onto my Persian, so that poison really is annoying. It's completely unnecessary. If I were the game, I would have been like, man, this guy got a double protect. I'm not going to give him the poison. It's kind of unfair, isn't it? So he's not going to go for a... So if I'm going for a parting shot right now, he has to go for the poison jab into what would be the Feeny slot. So actually what I'm going to do is, I'm going to switch... Let's see, let's back all the way up here. I'm going to switch the Feeny in on this slot, because Mimikyu is the less threatening of these two pairs. And then I'm going to go for the parting shot. And then my Mimikyu would come in a Persian slot, because I need the Mimikyu the least. And then I need my Feeny to be doing the most amount of damage, because he's got a curse boost up. I honestly think the Muck will be able to pull this one out. That poison really does matter, like big time. If he calls me on this and goes for a curse right now, then, you know, I'm going to tip my hat off to this guy. He might even poison jab into the Mimikyu, predicting what I had just done right now. But the most obvious thing would be to like play rough with the Mimikyu and then go for the switch in another slot with the yep, yeah, he's going to go into the Mimikyu. And this should knock me out. So he's at -1 right now. I can't taunt him anymore, unfortunately. And then he's just going to go for another protect right here, because it really makes it doesn't make any sense not to go for a protect. I'm going to go for a Moonblast, of course. I actually could go for some Muddy Waters for accuracy misses. How many... we got Misty Turn, because I could go for the Scald Burn as well. I'm just going to go for the Moonblast. Special attack drop's really not going to make much of a difference. And I'm going to go for the save fake out right now. Parting shot right now on this turn really wouldn't make any sense, because he could not protect like he had just done right there to call me on that. And the Moonblast is going to go off into the Muck, so this is pretty much a free turn of damage. He's probably going to be alternating his... and he's going to proc the berry. So this looks like it's going to be, depending on our rolls, a 3-hit KO. And we just got 1 hit right there. So he's going to probably protect this turn. And hopefully we make this a 2-hit KO after all of these parting shots. Because our Feeny is definitely going to win this for us, if anything. He should go for a protect right now to get some more poison chip onto the Persian. And I don't know why he's not doing that, because that's definitely his win condition right now. I didn't taunt him, so it's not like he can't use it. He's probably just going to go for like the Hail Mary into the Feeny. I think one more will be able to knock him out. Oh, okay, so he's knocking off the Persian to get rid of my berry, but I actually don't have a berry. So I think one more Moonblast will be able to do it, and then I'm just going to go for a... I'm just going to go for another parting shot. It's the safest option. Going for a foul play right now after I'd reduce his attack doesn't really make any sense, and he's going to protect. So my Persian's going to go down right here, but I think I got enough parting shots on him in order to make this poison jab not KO my Feeny, barring a crit, which I wouldn't put past this game considering the fact that how lucky my opponent has gotten so far. And the Moonblast hopefully will be able to take it out. If it doesn't, the Muck shouldn't be able to knock me out with a poison jab, and it can't poison me because Misty Terrain is up. So it looks like we're going to win this game. I don't want to talk too soon. But the Moonblast should be able to do considerable amounts of damage and then just take the KO right here. Let's see. And this is choice specs, and it does. So, cool. We're going to pick up a win in our first game on stream. So, GG's to Salty Dog, player from Greece. Has a considerable ranking, so pretty nice win to start the stream off. Okay, so the merits of Twinkle Tackle Mimikyu right there, taking out the Garchomp, was absolutely phenomenal. Not having the ability to do that would have lost me the game outright right there, because if I didn't have the availability for Twinkle Tackle right there, and if I had like the Never Ending Nightmare, that I probably wouldn't even have done like half to the Garchomp, you know, special or physical. And the Twinkle Tackle is just so awesome. If we had like a Misty Terrain boost from the terrain on the field for like Farium Z, it would be absolutely insane. So, player from United Kingdom, 1624. Let's see what kind of team that they have. They have a Maletic, okay, and they have a Vanillex, which will likely be Scarfed, probably like Scarf Blizzards, and the Sand Slash or Sand Slush, whatever you want to call it. It's going to have the ability to go very fast in the Howl. And it's looking pretty threatening against my Mimikyu too, because he could just go for a Blizzard, knock out my Disguise, and then go for Iron Head into that and then take it out. But I also have the Persian, and the Persian just has such good synergy on his team with the Quashes and Fake Outs, and it almost guarantees me to get up a Trick Room. So, alright. What do I think he's going to bring? I think a Howl lead right here is pretty safe for him. And I think Persian Mimikyu is pretty safe here for me as well. Because if that Vanillex is Scarfed and the Aegislash is... It's obviously going to have Slush Rush. I'll be able to go faster, so he might not even lead that based off of, you know, that knowledge. Might lead the Tapu Koko as well, Volt Switch, but he can't stop me from getting up Trick Room if I go with this lead right here. And as far as I'm aware, none of his Pokemon can knock me off as well, unless like Sandslash gets that, but I don't think it does. It'd probably be like a move tutor move, if anything. And then I'm just going to go with my Feeny right here, because nothing can really hit the Feeny for a lot of damage, except maybe like the Sandslash with Iron Head, and at that it would have to be Adamant, because Sandslash actually doesn't have that large of an attack stat. It has the highest, like it has a very high defense stat. Maybe like the Buzzwole with Poison Jabs, but I don't think he would bring a Buzzwole. Actually, well, I have a Sandslash, so he might bring the Buzzwole, but I do have the Feeny with the Moonblast. Buzzwoles are usually Adamant. Don't know who would have the Z move on his team, though. It could very well be the Sandslash with Groundium Z. Alright. I'm inclined to... Well, he could go for an Aurora Val with a Sandslash. I was going to say, I'm inclined to go for the Fake Out into the Vanillex, because it can double target me with a Blizzard, and then take out my Disguise, and then do considerable amounts of damage with the Persian, because I don't have that high of a special defense stat. But the Sandslash also has the availability to go for an Aurora Val, which is going to be kind of annoying to try to play around. But since Sandslash can only single target me, I think I'm going to go for the Trick Room, and then I'm going to go for the Fake Out play into the Vanillex. And I'm hoping the Vanillex is going to be Choice Scarf. I think we'd be able to tell right here, and he goes for the Aurora Val, yeah. So I could have definitely gone for the Fake Out in there, but then I was taking my Disguise out. But I think that was... I should have been willing to risk that. Kind of annoying. I can't really do anything about that. Let's see who is fastest. So Mimikyu is the fastest under the Trick Room, which is nice to know. Okay. I don't think Vanillex is that big of a threat, honestly. If anything, it's the Sandslash. And Twinkle Tackle really isn't going to be doing too much to the Sandslash. Who I have in the back, I have the Feeny. And he does have the Aurora Val up, which is kind of annoying. Tough position right here. What can I do with the Persian right now? What can I do with the Persian? What can I do with the Persian? I'm going to switch into Snorlax on this slot. I'm probably going to blow this, but let's see. I'm going to go for the parting shot on the Sand Slash because the Vanillix... I'm very unfamiliar with Vanillix, but I can't imagine that a spread move would do that much damage to my Snorlax. He's going to bring out the Sand Slash. He's going to bring in the Buzzwole. Great. So that was a good call on his part. Bringing my Snorlax in there was really, really obvious, and he's going to go for a Blizzard. We're going to get, at least they're going to get a parting shot. Oh. So here we go. This is not going to be the night for me. I could tell you already because we're already starting to get hacked out in both games. And since Freeze doesn't have a timer on it, I can't even guarantee that I'll be able to unthaw. There's no way that he goes for a Superpower into my Snorlax. There's absolutely no way he does that. Switch out into the Mimikyu is really, really obvious right here, so I could do that. Man, this is pretty annoying that I get frozen right now, and I don't even want to, like, I just want to leave my Persian in here to get knocked out, and so I can bring something else in, because he's pretty much forced to go for a Blizzard right now. Bring out my Snorlax, the disguise is going to go down, but there's nothing I can do about that. And I'm going to go for a parting shot into the Buzzwole, just to basically limit its output. Let's see if he goes for the Superpower into the Snorlax. If I were him, I would go for the Superpower in, or just a KO into the... What is Buzzwole going for if it's going last under the Trick Room? So my disguise is going to be broken. Persian's going to go down. Superpower. Trick Room's up, right? As far as I'm aware, the Trick Room is up. Wearing him on top of Feeny right here. A little confused right now. Why did the Vanillix go before the Buzzwole? Unless that's not Scarf Vanillix. I don't know my speed tiers when it comes to Vanillix. Yeah, the Trick Room's up, so that's not a Scarf Vanillix. It's probably Choice Specs. Okay. So if that's not Scarf Vanillix, then my Mimikyu is probably going to be slower, which is not good. I'm probably just going to end up losing this game. Not knowing like the speed tiers for Vanillix, of course, and just assuming that it's Scarf would just kind of screwed me over. And then he has Aurora Veil up, which is not good as well. So I think I'm just going to go for the Twinkle Tackle right here, and I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. There's really nothing else I can do on my position. If I bring in the Snorlax, it's going to be taking too much damage. The Buzzwole is going to go for a Protect, so let's see how much damage this Blizzard does to my Mimikyu. It might take it out, considering the fact that I have some Hail Chip onto it. It does not. Let's see if it freezes me. It does not. Okay, good. And he's going to protect this... Wow, that does nothing. How bulky can you make Vanillux? And this is going to go into the Buzzwole, and this is probably not going to do. It's probably not going to do anything. Of course, I'm adamant, but it had protected. And Buzzwole actually has pretty good defenses. Let's see how much. This is good damage calc to know though, because Buzzwole is a huge threat to my Snorlax, and it pretty much does nothing. All right. And the Vanillix actually had gone before my Feeny, which is also really annoying. And just setting up the Trick Room for the Vanillix was like the worst thing I could have done. So what he does right here, he Poison Jabs and goes for a Blizzard because that will be able to take out my Feeny. There's really no reason for him to bring out the Buzzwole. He's up a considerable amount. And there's no reason for me to save Mimikyu. I can't protect my Feeny. But I'm not even gonna like worry about this because I'm not used to playing against. Let's see who he has in the back. I don't think he can. Well, he could switch it into Marowak on that slot. It doesn't really make any sense because the Trick Room's going to be ending this turn. I have to go for another Dazzling Gleam. It's good information to like to know what I guess people are running on their Blizzard sets with their their Vanillix. Of course, it's choice because it's only going for Blizzards right now. If I had another form of weather on my team that would probably be better. I think it does make sense for the Mimilax to not be Scarfed, because if you do lead with it, you will probably, of course your weather's going to go up last, so that's not the ideal scenario. You kind of want to be able to get it up. You want to get it up last. You'd be getting up your weather first, which would kind of cancel the other form of weather out. So you want to get your weather up last. So it's probably trained to underspeed Pelipper and then lead that, and then I guess go for blizzards. You'll be going for blizzards against likely a Golduck, which probably won't be doing too much damage. But I guess that's like the mindset with the Mimilax. First time I've ever played a Hell team in VGC 17, so not even gonna like be too upset about that loss right there. I don't think like the way I played that was the best way I could have played it. If I felt like he was gonna lead, I already knew right away that he was gonna lead Mimilax, and then he was gonna lead the Sand Slash. And I knew he was going to set up Aurora Veil with the Sand Slash, so what I could have done was like I actually could have gone for the Persian Arcanine lead, and then gone for the Fake Out into the Sand Slash, not allow him to get up the Aurora Veil, and then go for the Flare Blitz into the Mimilax, because I know it's going to be choiced. I just don't know what choice item it's going to have on it, whether it be the Scarf or the Specs. I think that would be a better call right there, but of course, first time playing it, so I'm not even going to be too upset about that. Player from Italy. All right, let's go. What are you going to have for me? Chusu, maybe? I think that's how you pronounce that name. So another Muck, another Marowak, another P2, another Feeny, another Coco, and another Kartana. So really, really standard team. Not particularly threatening. The only thing that I'm actually scared of is the Muck, because it can always knock off the berry, which is really, really annoying. And I'd rather not deal with that, but unfortunately there's nothing I can do about that. I guess what I can do is I like leading Mimikyu and the Persian, because it gives me the availability to go for like the Hail Mary Varium Z into like the Coco, like say if it leads that. If he sets up Trick Room for me, that's perfectly fine. I can also get up a Trick Room if Muck decides to lead. The following turn, I can go for a Parting Shot into the Muck, because I'll be going after the Muck attacks. If it knocks me off, that's fine, and then I can bring in my Snorlax. So I think that's what I'm going to go for here. So I'm going to lead that. I'm always going to bring my Snorlax. I feel so comfortable bringing the Snorlax. And then setting it up, and then I have support with the Persian, so that's always good. Do I bring the Arcanine right here? Does it make any sense to? I don't know. I think I need to bring something for the Marowak. So I'm going to bring the Feeny. This really doesn't make any sense. Why did I bring the Feeny? But I was like, I got to bring something for the Marowak, but I have my Persian. So this is just me again, and there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I talk way too much. I just like talking. If I'm in a tournament, then I'll definitely be considering all of my options in team preview. I have the Persian for the Marowak, so I don't know why I was worrying about bringing something for the Marowak when he has a Coco and a Kartana on his team. So I should have brought my Arcanine. Okay, so there's the Coco. I could definitely go for the Fake Outs, and there's no way. There is absolutely no way he protects. He protects with the Coco right now, because if he protects with the Coco, he lets me get up Trick Room for free. That's what he's doing right now if he protects with the Coco. 1400s player, he might protect with the Coco, so I'm actually just going to go for it right now. I'm not even going to think twice about it. And let's see how this turn of events plays out. I wouldn't protect the Coco, especially if I was playing it in a best of there you go, because you're letting me get up Trick Room if you protect the Coco. If you get faked out and then I set up Trick Room, you know, not much damage is being done to you with Fake Out, and then you could just switch out the Coco and then bring something in that benefits from Trick Room. So this is going to be, it should be a knocked out Coco, and Coco might have been the Z-move user on his team, barring that of like the Kartana. So we're going to go up early. Interesting to see what the Muck goes for. If it goes for a Poison Jab into the Mimikyu, I'm not going to be too upset about that. He'll probably bring in his Marowak the following turn, though. So we can go for like a double up into the Mimikyu. So I'm going to get knocked off. I have no item to get knocked off. He's probably going to go for like a knockoff into the Persian the following turn. I don't think I'm going to be inclined to switch out with my Persian right here because I don't necessarily want a parting shot and then switch into my Snorlax and get something knocked off into my Snorlax. Oh, he's going to bring Kartana. Nice. I'm okay with that because I can foul play into the Kartana. I will outspeed the Kartana. I don't think he's going to protect with the Kartana because he has to go for the double up. He has to go. Well, again, the only way he can knock out my Mimikyu right. Oh, well, Mimikyu's disguise has been broken. Sceptile, the best. Thank you for following. He can go for a Smart Strike into my Mimikyu. He's not going to knock off into that slot again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a foul play right here. And I'm going to bring in my Snorlax. Because I want to save my Mimikyu for the possible Marowak double up in the back. If I don't get a belly drum up, I'm already up in this game. If I don't get a belly drum up, it's not the end of the world. He's going to bring out his Muck, which is great. Yo, what's up, Sceptile the best? Going to bring in this Feeny. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Let's see what the Kartana goes for. It's probably going to go for a Smart Strike, if anything, into my Mimikyu. Does half. It does more than half. Sacred Sword! I was going to say, he's letting me get up Trick Room. This man is letting me get up Trick Room. He's insane. That does a lot of damage. There's no way that can be Bandit. That is a lot of damage. That is a non-stab move. Granted, super effective against my Persian. It's a low base power, non-stab move. And I have the Fur Coat ability, and I have a lot of bulk. Like, that does way too much damage. I'm inclined to believe that that's Bandit, although that really wouldn't make any sense. We're going to find out right here, because he's probably going to protect with the Kartana. But then I could just... I can't protect with my Snorlax, which is kind of crappy. I think he protects with the Kartana. Let's see. We might be playing this a little too aggressively. He's going to protect the Kartana, and he's going to Moonblast into the Persian. So I could have just brought in something on my Persian slot because now I don't have the ability to Quash, which is kind of it's kind of crappy. But at least I'm going to get a Belly Drum off. I can bring in the Mimikyu. I can basically bluff the Trick Room. I'm not going to bluff the Trick Room. I'm going to go for the Trick Room. But then I'm going to have to force him to go for the double up because a Smart Strike will take me out, but a Moonblast won't do too much to my Snorlax, and then I can just go for the high horsepower, or I can even go for the return into the Kartana, and I'll be able to knock it out. And I bring in my Mimikyu 100% right here. How do I battle, raffle, or Q? Stream while you lag. I don't know what any of those commands are, Sceptile the best. I don't really stream all too often. If I had Protect right here, that would be phenomenal. So he might double up into the Snorlax, actually, which I still think will take me out. Interesting to see whether it will, but still I get up to Trick Room. I really, really wish I had... Let's go for the Recycle right now. I'm going to go for the Recycle, because then I'm going to get Trick Room up after this. He's either going to double up into Snorlax, he's going to let me get up Trick Room. That's the game I'm playing right now with him. So does he let me get up to Trick Room, or does he let me get up to Recycle? So he's going to be switching out his Feeny. He's going to go for the Smart Strike into the Mimikyu. So I think going for the KO into the Kartana right there was the better call, because that was an obvious play. That was an incredibly obvious play. Oh, and my Feeny is spec. See, I'm playing with the mindset that my Feeny can protect. I needed to save the Persian. I think we lose now because of that. I keep playing with the mindset that I'm playing with the teams that I originally had built, and then I made these changes. I hate Specs Feeny. I hate it. I don't know why I fucking have it on my team. So I'm going to Moonblast right here. He's going to Sacred Sword. He should Sacred Sword. You know, he's going to Leaf Blade in my Feeny, and then he's going to go for a knockoff into my Snorlax. That's his best play, and there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. So I'm going to go for the Moonblast right there, and then I'm going to go for the return into the Kartana. I needed to save my Persian. He's going to withdraw the Muck into the Tapu Fini. So if he goes for the... Kartana's going to protect. Okay. Not the play I was anticipating. That was pretty much a free knockoff in his position. Because now I get free damage under the Fini. My Fini should be able to outspeed his Fini. He's not going to be able to knock my Snorlax out. And he has to know that that was Specs damage. So he's going to go for the Leaf Blade into my... does a Moonblast knock the Kartana out is the question right here. I'm just going to go for the safe play into that slot right there and then go for the return into the Kartana. He's going to Leaf Blade into the Fini. Soak. Oh no. That's a Scarf Fini. Leaf Blade. Shit. Alright, well, GG. I needed to save the Persian. That was completely my fault. Man, if I would have just Moonblasted into the Kartana right there like I'd originally wanted to, I was not anticipating Soak. You can't anticipate these gimmicks in the best of one. How do you battle me? Sorry, I'm lagging bad. I'm not really in the mood to like do like battles right now. I kind of just want to play some teams online, see what's going on, test this team out. There's no way I can win. He's just knocking me out. He's gonna knock me out with a Leaf Blade right there. I played that game absolutely horribly, but that's exactly why you need to practice on Battle Spot. Figure out calculations, figure out how to position yourself correctly, how you can position yourself correctly in the future. Should have definitely switched out my Persian right there. My Persian was the win condition because then I could switch it in. You know, if anything were to be knocked out, and then I could just quash the Kartana. The Kartana is going to get knocked out. The Fini really can't do too much to me. Yeah, the Muck can knock me off, but it still can't knock me out. So losing the Persian right there was completely unnecessary on my part. I'm going to save that so I can go back to that because I played that like absolute garbage. All right. I feel like this is, again, and I don't want to keep saying that, you know, the best of one is absolute garbage because it's not, because you gain a lot of information out of it. But in best of threes, I feel 100% confident I'd be able to pull any of these sets out because I gained so much information about the teams and the way that the player plays, and then I can fix what I had done wrong in the previous game. Anyway, we're going to find Bruno, and I think Bruno is from Italy, 1570. Tapu Koko, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, the Mudsdale Muck, and the thing. I think Arcanine's finally the right call on us, especially since the Ninetales is going to lead. I don't have Will-O-Wisp on this set, which is kind of annoying. We do have Smart Strike on my Kartana. I could possibly go for a Speed Tie onto the Ninetales, which I wouldn't guarantee winning because I suck at winning Speed Ties. I think Kartana is a really, really good lead. Even if you lose Arcanine, I can still live a Flare Blitz because I am Focus Sashed, or I can even fake it out and then go for the possible Speed Tie into the Ninetales. If I were him, I would lead the Arcanine Koko, Arcanine, or the Ninetales. I'm basing my lead right here off of that. I'm going to bring the Snorlax into the back, and then what else do I want to bring right here? I think the Fini would be a pretty good call right here. If I play correctly, I need to preserve my Kartana. My Kartana is definitely going to be the thing that's going to be able to pull this out right here. Because I don't think I brought my Snorlax. I didn't bring the Mimikyu, and I didn't bring the Arcanine, so I did bring the Snorlax. Okay. I got to start learning how to use Arcanine on this team. I could see why River Davis have a Marowak on the team, because it's almost guaranteed to take out the Celesteela. Ninetales and Arcanine is going to lead, as I suspect it. So, Ninetales is going to set up Aurora Val right here. I have to go for the Fake Out into the Arcanine, and the thing is, I think I Fake Out Ninetales, and then I Smart Strike the Ninetales. The Ninetales protects right here, dude. Just, you know, GG. Like, GG. Oh, you know what I could do? I can actually go for... I'll survive with the... Oh, I won't because Hail's up. That's right, because I was thinking to myself, the following turn I could Z parting shot, like switch out my Kartana, Z parting shot, and then bring it back in, and then I have my focus sash. Well, no, I'll be at full health, but the hell, I forgot. So Fake Out's going to go to Ninetales. I will be able to outspeed this Arcanine, get a Smart Strike off. This should be able to knock out the Ninetales. It's 4 times super effective. So no Aurora Veil in this game, which kind of does help me out because I don't have to play around the defense boost on my opponent's side. I'm going to go to Beast Boost, not going to matter. He's going to go for a Flare Blitz into it. At least I'm going to get some considerable amount of chip off into this Arcanine as well from Hail and Recoil, which is always good too, because then a Fail Play would be, it'll put it in further and further in the Fail Play range. That's a good amount of recoil. So I'm trading a Ninetales for the Kartana. I think that's I think it's a good trade. Question is, who does he bring in right here? Likely the Tapu Koko, considering the fact that I have a Tapu Fini. Could bring in my Snorlax right here, go for a high horsepower into that slot. Or I could just double up into the Arcanine, but the Koko is definitely the bigger threat to my Fini, so I'm actually going to bring in my Snorlax right here. It's going to be able to absorb a lot of... He's going to bring in the Mudsdale, okay. Mudsdale's going to be able to go for a close combat. I'm so reliant on Protect on my other teams, and I think Protect's a great call. Because I don't think I'm there yet with this team. I don't think I know how to play this team properly in order to pull off not being able to Protect with my Snorlax. All right. So honestly, what I think he does right here is that he goes for a. I think he's going to go for the close combat into the Snorlax. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out my Fini right here, and then I'm going to go for the Foul Play into the Arcanine. I don't think this will put him into berry range, unless he goes for a Flare Blitz. But I think Muddy Water would be a good call. I reckon even Scald too. I'm anticipating the close combat to come out though. And the Flare Blitz will probably do about half damage. Wow, we're getting a critical hit. That's really unfortunate for my opponent, but I'm getting really unlucky in this. No, he's going to go for higher horsepower. Huh. Odd call. Very odd call, unless he was anticipating a switch out, I don't think he was. I honestly don't think he was anticipating a switch out. Right now, he can bring in Tapu Koko, which is kind of annoying, and I can't Protect with my Tapu Fini. I think after this stream, I'm just taking Specs off. Specs Fini is not my favorite set. There's too many Pokemon on this team that can't Protect, and having a Fini that can't Protect is kind of annoying. Go for Muddy Water right here. I have the chance to get some Muddy Water misses or accuracy drops, and then I think the Mach could go for the knockoff into the Persian again. I'm gonna Foul Play the Mudsdale right here. Let's see if the Muddy Water plus the Foul Play will be able to knock out the Mudsdale. It's gonna get a defense rise, but this should be doing at least 40%. No, it doesn't even do that. That's really weird. I guess that Mudsdale doesn't have as high as attack stat as I thought it did. I know it has pretty good defenses, so that's probably counteracting that. It's definitely not Assault Vest. So that's going to take out the Mudsdale. I don't really have to worry about that, but he's going to go for a Gunk Shot into my Fini. That's unnecessary because I'm in range for a Poison Jab, but he probably doesn't have Poison Jab. So going for the big move right there, the Gunk Shot. You've been seeing a lot more Gunk Shots on the Mucks because they do so much more damage to the Tapus, including Tapu Fini, but you're also risking the miss. Like literally, there's a 20% chance of you missing. All right, let's see who he has in the back. It's probably going to be the Koko. No, that's it. Oh wow. Then I'm going to go for a Belly Drum and Quash, because he's going to knock off into my Snorlax. My Berry will be proc before he can knock me off, and then it's not going to be doing too much damage in return after that. See what he does, and then I could just go for a Quash high horsepower the following turn, and that should be game, unless I miss the high horsepower, but I don't think he'd still be able to knock me out with a Gunk Shot at that point. And then we're going to eat our berry. So after this, I think we should be going 2-2, which is reasonable. Yep, knockoff. That actually does more damage than I thought it would do. Yep, high horsepower. I think he protects right here, and then he procs his berry, but I'm not even going to risk going for a recycle so that he can just knock it off. Just going to go for a high horsepower right here, and then I'm going to go for a quash. Yeah. He's going to protect right here because the Howl's going to bring him in range for... Actually, this might be the last turn of Howl. If it disappears after this, then his berry's not going to be procced. Like, definitely could have went for a recycle right there, but that's okay. Yep. So he's not going to be able to proc his berry. Alright, and then we go for the same play that we had just gone for, and then this should be able to take him out. I don't know why I'm going for high horsepower right here. This is extremely risky, because it can miss. Okay, we hit it. Because I really think a return would have been able to take him out, so I don't even know why I'm going for the high horsepower right there. I think in my position, if I was in a tournament, then I wouldn't even reveal that I had the high horsepower because the muck would probably be, it would feel more like the muck and then Tapu Koko would all feel more comfortable being on the field without me having Belly Drum up, and then I could just go for the high horsepower and do a considerable amount of damage, whereas Return probably wouldn't do as much damage to either of those Pokemon. Alright, so we're going to pick up a win right there. We're going for 50 minutes, so what we're going to do is, I did want to make this a quicker stream. We're going to do one more battle. That will, I think, put us over an hour, so a quick stream. Let's see if we can pull out one more win here at the end to go 19-18 for our overall record. That record does suck. I should be well in the 1600s, but just playing with new teams, practicing, which is always going to give you losses. And then early on in the season, when I didn't have my new router, I was getting DCs, and like I would have to say at least 4 DCs count as losses in my record. There was 2 of them which were easy wins, and I thought my opponent had actually rage quit, but it ended up being me a disconnection on my part. So let's see whether or not we can find a player. So Diego from Spain, playing all Europeans, 16-18. So this should be a really good match to end this up, and this looks like it's going to be a variation of Fake PG. Yep, that's just straight up Fake PG. All right. How do I want to counteract that? I think he leads the Kartana in the front. He's going to bring Gigalith in this match because that would be his Trick Room counter. I'm trying to think whether or not he would actually lead. I think he leads his Porygon. Porygon, maybe the Feeny, or the Porygon Arcanine. Porygon Kartana. Porygon has the availability to get a special attack boost, go for the counter Trick Room, or he could just switch out into the Gigalith. Definitely going to be bringing my Feeny right here. Alright, so I'm going to bring my Kartana in the front right here. What else would be able to take out the Porygon if he decides to lead that? You know what, I'm going to bring the Persian. I think the Arcanine comes out in front, honestly, because I get it... Let's do this, actually. And do I even bring the Mimikyu in the back? I am not. Let's see how well this works out. I haven't played against Fake PG in quite some time, which is kind of surprising because it's like one of the most, I wouldn't say viable, but most popular teams used on the ladder and at tournaments. And I actually don't play against it as much as many people may think. It's like the chalk of this format. Cortana and the Porygon too. Okay. What's he get on his Porygon there? He might actually go for the Trick Room, switching it to Gigalith. Definitely a viable play. Definitely a viable play. In that case, I'm going to go for the fake out into the Kartana. You could just protect Kartana, prevent like any type of like damage into the Kartana, or the switch it for the Gigalith. I'm going for a belly drum. This is a fairly ballsy call, but I took it tomorrow. What's the Kartana going to do right here? The Kartana's going to protect. It's going to attack. Okay. Sacred Sword into the Snorlax. Trying to understand his plays right here. So he's definitely not Focus Sash. If he was Focus Sash, he protects right there. Again, this is why I need to have Protect on my Snorlax to get when I'm in these situations. It's just so much better than high horsepower. Togedemaru is faking out someone. Question is, who is it? Has to be the Persian. It has to be the Persian. Could have just went for the high horsepower. So if he's going to do that, then I'm going to switch out into my own Kartana. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. So this is it's pretty frustrating not having Protect on my Snorlax. I think I'm just going to go with my own playstyle and then put the Protect on the Snorlax. Fake out into the Persian. Again, and I like Z-Move Kartana so much. So basically, like, all of the sets that I like, I was just completely going against. And if I did go with my own sets, I would have won this game outright. Would have won this game outright. Because, okay, he fakes out my Persian right there. It's fine. Does negligible doesn't do much damage. And then I go for the Quash the next turn into the Kartana, and then I return it. And what does the Togedemaru do? It goes for like a flinch or something like that, which is probably the only thing he could have done in the position. And then if he gets that, GG. But oh man, I'm just gonna go straight up with my alt sets. But it really wouldn't make any sense. Morkiti, what's up, dude? It wouldn't really make any sense to have 3 Z-Move users on this team, so I definitely would have to figure out another item I could put on a Kartana, maybe an Assault Vest, but I don't know, that's not as viable. Can he switch in on the Kartana slot? Definitely the Arcanine. I can't ignore the Togedemaru either. I'm gonna. He's gonna switch into Arcanine regardless. Yep, he's gonna switch into Arcanine on that slot. No, the Tapu Fini. Huh. So I could have just definitely faked out the Togedemaru and then gone for a Sacred Sword into that slot, but the Togedemaru is not going to be able to... Okay, well, he Spiky Shields. That's fair enough. What's he going for right here? Togedemaru switches out into the Arcanine and or the Kartana. But if he switches into Kartana on that, then still going to be doing a considerable amount of damage. He could definitely... I'm just going based off the fact that the Fini might be Specs right here. It does make sense with his team composition. Or, you know what? Actually, no, it wouldn't. Wolfie was using it in Worlds, but he could also have a Calm Mindset with the Togedemaru. That would make sense as well. Well, I'm going to go for the Leaf Blade, and then I'm going to go for the Fell Play right here. My Hydro Pump, so he's Scarfed. Oh my god. Lower ladder, man. He's probably going to go for the Zing Zap into my Kartana. And I think the Zing Zap will be able to take it out. That was a lot of damage. Alright, so we take out the Fini, but he's going to go for a Zing Zap. If this doesn't take out my Kartana, then I could switch it out and then go for a Z Parting Shot and then bring it back in. Zing Zap into the Kartana. Yeah, that makes the most sense. That's not going to take me out, I don't think. No, it's not. Nice. Cool. So I'm going to bring in his own Kartana. He's going to protect his Kartana. There's really no reason for him not to protect his Kartana. This is a weird position that he's put himself in. Because I outspeed both of it. I'm going to be able to outspeed his Kartana with my Persian, and then I can go for the Fika, and then I can go for the Secret Sword into its Togedemaru, unless he wants to bring out its Togedemaru into something like the Arcanine, which is also fine, because then I also outspeed that. So I don't think it's necessary for me to be able to take out either of my Pokemon. It really wouldn't make any sense in this position that I'm in. Then I could just go for foul play right there. He has to protect something. He has to... I was going to say, Togedemaru might be going for the Spiky Shield. That would make the most sense. Because then he would be able to take me out. Why didn't he do that? I didn't even think of that option. And the Kartana's going to protect, okay. Let's see how much this Sacred Sword actually does to the Porygon. That's right, he had the Porygon in it. Wow, that's a critical hit. Is that not a critical hit? Dude, one attack boost did that? Holy God! Alright. Let's see here. I'm definitely going to protect and then bring out my Persian. And Tapu Fini is useless for me right here. Bringing out, because his play is to go for the Fake Out into the Persian. Yeah, and let's see if he goes for a Leaf Blade into that slot. Probably just a Sacred Sword into the Kartana. Okay, so I'm giving him the option. Well, he doesn't know what item I have on my Fini. I'm giving him the option to either Speed Tie with my Kartana. You know, win the Speed Tie, you take out my Kartana, okay, but then I'm still going to be able to get off a Moonblast and then take out your Kartana. Or I could just, because a Zing Zap's not going to be able to take him out. It has a flinch chance, but, you know, I don't like playing with those odds. Kartana could protect right here to even avoid a... I think he protects, honestly. And then I'm going to go for a Moonblast right here. Let's see what happens. This could be very risky because the Togedemaru could... Okay, I win the Speed Tie. I was going to say the Togedemaru could have very went for a Spiky Shield, but I think in his position, going for a Protect not to risk the Speed Tie with my Kartana, and then go for a Zing Zap into my Kartana to take it out would probably have been a better option. So this looks like it's going to be a good game because the Moonblast in my position is going to be able to take him out in specs, and Kartana has poop special defense. So this wasn't looking very promising to begin with, but I mean, we're going to pull this one out because even if this doesn't knock out, then I could just fake out foul play, and it'll be a good game after that. All right, so we're going to defeat Diego. So beat a couple of good players in this, learned a lot of good information about roles, how to position ourselves and playing against other teams. And I didn't even need Snorlax right there. Snorlax basically did nothing, but it forced a knockout into the Snorlax, in which actually allowed me to position myself a little bit better and then get some damage off with my Persian. So I'm going to see that. And good game to all my opponents. I keep forgetting how to say your name. Mokiti. Oh, how did I do with your Clefairy Mimilax team? I think I played like 7 matches with it, and I went like 6-1, so it's actually not that bad. I put the team on my cart as well, and I didn't do too well with it because I forgot to put Fight AMZ on the... this is the team that I'm using right now. I forgot to put the Fight AMZ on my Mosa, which was terrible. I had a Focus Blast 2 matches, and I hit all of my Focus Blasts, which is absolutely amazing, and it actually worked out for me. Yeah, dude. I mean, the team is pretty cool, but I'm just not familiar with playing with it. I don't think I'm going to be playing with it because I'm probably going to be playing with this team for a while. Because I'm trying to like get myself into a position where I feel comfortable playing with a team, you know, where I played pretty much against like every team archetype, and then I know what I can lead against certain things. And I'm trying to get into that position because I believe I have 2 more regionals. I'm going to try to go to 2 more regionals. I have Memphis before the year ends. I'm going to try to go to 1 more regional, even if I may have to drive to it. I'm trying to go to San Jose Thanksgiving weekend, but I'm trying to go to 2 more regionals, probably bring this team to those regionals, and then hopefully do well. River Davis, and pretty much has the same archetype, the team that I have, barring he has Marowak for his fire type and he had Bulu for his grass type. And he had Slow King for his water type, which also can set up the Trick Room. You're used to hard Trick Room and Hyper Offense. I was using Hyper Offense with the Double Ducks team, which actually got me third overall on one PC, and then I was using a bulky setup Lele and Manabuzz team at Hartford, which got me 42 out of 222. Could have definitely gotten a top 16, but unfortunately I lost my last match due to Whimsicott shenanigans, which I don't really like playing against. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you turning out for my stream right here. I'm actually gonna hop off. Got to do a few things before I lay down to go to bed. But I just wanted to come on, basically play some games. I like to stream not only for my viewers but for myself, so I can basically talk myself through the games. You know, let everyone know my thought process, even though it's not like the greatest thought process in the world. But it also allows me to go back and then watch them too, to see what I can do better. But anyway, I'm gonna head out. Thanks guys for watching. Have a great night, and keep battling.